Hey, welcome to Fiddlerman's Q A. Today's question is regarding pain that is a result of playing and practicing too much. Let's watch the video and then we'll talk about it.
Hey Pierre, I've been experiencing some tension back in my shoulder back here, a little bit in the arm, forearm, a little bit up under the neck and stuff, and I'd like your recommendations. I'll play a little snippet here or something and give you a couple different angles and see if you can let me know what I could do maybe to relieve some of the tension. I myself believe it's probably a higher chin rest and possibly even a higher shoulder rest. But I feel it begin to slip when no matter what I do, is I have to really bend my neck down to grab it. So anyway, I look forward to your recommendations. Thanks.
Your question, Barry, is so extremely important that every person, each and every person, no matter how many years you've been playing, needs to be thinking about how much effort is being put into holding the instrument and what kind of equipment is being used to get the proper hold. Now, your hold by itself doesn't look bad at all. It looks pretty good. A lot of violas, this is a viola right here, 16-inch viola, hold their instruments lower because it's that much bigger. You're actually holding it a little higher. The only thing I see is that looking from the side, it's on an angle, which means that if you don't have good equipment, it's going to have the tendency to go down. So the only way to keep it up is to apply pressure. And this, you can either be applying pressure with your shoulder or with your jaw, your neck, which could be giving you pains. So I'm pretty sure that in your case, good equipment would take care of the problem. But even when you get the good equipment, it's really important that you focus on relaxing, like, move your head around every 10-15 minutes of practice. Before you start your practice session, make sure you're all loose. And then the effort that goes down should be effort towards pressing the strings down just enough to touch the fingerboard, but no other tensions anywhere. In my case, I always try to balance the instrument by having it a little higher than what you have, but it's not necessary at all, and you seem to be holding it really nicely. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you make any changes except for your equipment. There's actually some shoulder rests, I don't have one on here right now, that will loop around and go around your shoulder so that the instrument doesn't feel like it's slipping off. And the slipper is one I recommend that you try. And a chin rest, a higher chin rest in your case, because you have a long neck, might be the trick too. Because if you feel that the instrument is touching without filling in the gaps, without you having to come to the instrument, you might be able to relax easier. So a couple things: having the instrument a little higher in some people's case, probably not yours, or filling the gap. And then also make sure that in intensive practice sessions, when you're concentrating on all kinds of other issues other than holding the instrument, you're trying to do vibrato, you're trying to play fast, you're trying to finger right, you're trying to, your mind is automatically working on things that you're not even aware of. So you're then automatically gripping the instrument without even giving it any thought. And in that one little section you showed us, it didn't look like you were that tense. But sometimes the tenseness comes after 10 minutes of practice or 15 minutes of practice because you're getting tired, so you're gripping a little harder. But for each and every instrumentalist, I recommend that you put the instrument up and see that you don't really need to hold it to keep it up. So if you're having a problem, you're scared it's gonna fall and you're gripping it, you're gonna get pains. And even if you're young and strong right now, later in life, it's going to cause you problems, especially if you practice a lot and play a lot. So analyze your playing, analyze your grip, like I said, I like the balance method where you have the instrument a little higher and you don't really need to hold it. I make contact with my jaw, not my chin, because the chin is going to give you neck problems. This doesn't appear to be your case, Barry. It's more this kind of thing, and the instrument, being here. So if you had something that would keep your instrument a little higher, like I said. So I'm also going to send you from Fiddler Shop a higher chin rest and a chin comforter that is called the Impressionist, that will make an impression of your jaw as well as you're going to have a more comfortable fit. It won't bother you so much to hold the instrument. And we'll talk to Fred and see if we can get you a slipper rest too and hear your thoughts after trying the new equipment. And once again, for everybody, be aware that it's important to actually focus on loosening up during your sessions. And another thing I noticed, Barry, is your arm is out like this when you're playing, which is, by itself, it's not a bad thing, but if you get your arm under a little bit, your shoulder will come up just a little bit, but in a natural way, not a lifting way like that, and it will be under the instrument, kind of catching it like this, That might help you a little bit. I'm not saying you need to make that change, but having the arm underneath will also bring your fingers, watch my fingers, it'll bring them closer to the strings also. Just sliding just a little bit, not too much. I hope that helps, and we'll have a follow-up video on the progress and the changes after you receive your equipment.
First off, I'd like to start out by thanking Pierre for addressing my issues. As you guys know from the previous portion of the video, I was having tension in my neck, my jaw, my shoulder, and my back, and even a little bit from time to time shooting down my arm. Thank you, Pierre, first off, for the Stuber rest. That was a great deal of help. The difference in height compared to the standard rest had got it up where it needed to be. You had also sent me the Impressionist, but I found when I put the Impressionist on, even though the contour fit my jaw very nicely, it gave too much height. So the Impressionist would work well, in my opinion, with a standard chin rest if you needed that. If I'd have used my standard Stuber, which is considerably lower than this one, it would have probably worked on that. The second edition, and a big thank you goes out to Fred for the slipper rest. What an incredible piece of equipment. It changed everything. Now I effortlessly hold it. It stays there. I'm not given the death grip on there anymore to hold the viola, and she sits there nicely. I can move freely, where before I couldn't do that. I was climbing up and down the neck while trying to hold it. So a big thank you goes out to Pierre and Fred. You guys saved me. It works. Appreciate it.
Well, there you have it. Your problem, Barry, was obviously the equipment. You didn't feel comfortable. You had to grip the instrument a little harder, and there was all this unnecessary tension. So being able to use the slipper rest, which kind of curves around your shoulder, and the chin rest, that gives you a better connection, and it's a little higher. That gave you what you needed to be able to relax and just have the instrument there. I'm super happy we were able to help you out. And Fred from the Slipper, he's a great guy. And the whole concept, the whole invention, it's a terrific solution for so many people, especially if you have a long neck, as you guys do. If you have a question, a Q&A that you want help with, see the About the video for instructions on how you can get me your video, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. Thanks for watching.